right now?
We are on the blessed side of the spectrum. I feel like God got me, man. As he was walking out the station, even though he told me he didn't have time, I somehow got a chance to rap for him.
I love that they're teaching financial literacy through a video game.
A lot of people come at me with a lot of things, and that just struck me. This is something that needs to be taught to a lot of these kids.
I think that could be transformative for lots of people. Hey family, welcome to a very special edition of the Carlos Watson Show. Big Sean is stopping by. Few bigger names in music. What an incredibly talented artist. So many of you know that he started off in Detroit, caught the ear of Kanye West, has gone on to a Grammy-nominated career, won gold, 4 platinum records later, lots of high-profile relationships. There are fewer bigger names and fewer more talented people in music than Big Sean. But guess what? As talented a musician as he is, he's so much more. In fact, he's the founder of his own nonprofit called the Sean Anderson Foundation, and it's got a very special mission: make the lives of young people better. In fact, they're doing some incredible work with our friends at Ally and their Moguls in the Making program. You're going to want to hear about this and a whole lot more. Here's my man, Big Sean. Hey, Sean.
Yo, what's up, man?
Where are you right now?
We are on the blessed side of the spectrum, my friend.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm in the studio.
I was reading a little bit about what you've been doing with schools and some of the give back and the foundations. I love what you're doing with Ally and the Moguls in the Making program. What excited you about it?
It excited me because I did feel like that was such an aspect missing in our community. And I mean our community, you know what I'm saying? Like financial literacy. So around 2019, Ally came to me. I just thought it struck me. You know, a lot of people come at me with a lot of things sometimes, and that just struck me because I have learned first-handedly and gone through not being as financial literate as I should have been and having to learn, not necessarily the hard way, but just having to learn it. This is something that needs to be taught to a lot of these kids, especially the world is changing so heavily that there's new professions. You know, you could be a multi-millionaire from playing video games. You could be a YouTuber, a social media star. And by the way, there are 10 other jobs that go into just being that, you know, that are new ways of income, right? So I think it's more important than ever to teach people. And to me, that's what Moguls in the Makings and Ally Financial and, you know, Thurgood Marshall really gave us the opportunity to incorporate that into, you know, the HBCUs. And it just works. It was just synchronized perfectly. You feel me?
That is a brilliant idea. I love the fact that they're teaching financial literacy through a video game.
That's something that I feel like is so needed. I think that financial literacy should be a whole class in school. Like, no one taught me about taxes in high school, and that don't make no sense.
Right.
I mean, that is more common in biology and like chemistry. Like, just as essential as those are, so is that. That's what I really do like about this Fintropolis. You know, it's what I dreamed would come from what me and Ally and Thurgood Marshall were doing with the Moguls program.
I love that notion of giving so many young people an opportunity. When was the first time you heard about Moguls in the Making? And how did you guys start working on that?
I know a lot of great people over at Ally, especially Andrea. Shout out to Andrea. And we were just trying to figure out the right way to do something that just makes a difference. They really were just hungry being in the position that they're in. They're like, man, we got to do something just for the city of Detroit and for all HBCUs, you know, all historically Black colleges. You know, they're like, man, we got to figure out a way to just teach people, put them to the test, give them opportunities, you know, give them internships, give them jobs. And not only give to them, let them give to us. It's a two-way street. It's not just us giving them, they give us. And, you know, it's a beautiful, beautiful partnership. I'm glad that we're like keeping it going and exploring it and expanding it.
I think you're onto something there. Like, I think that could be transformative for lots of people in different ways. And you know what's funny? I met several of the students who came up with Fintropolis. I met Damari and Aaron and Keyshawn and Earl, and I love the kids.
We knew we wanted to incorporate something that was dealing with technology because we knew that was something that a lot of middle schoolers are involved in, technology, whether that's social media, apps, video games, whatever the case may be. Keyshawn actually came up with, Minecraft.
I have hundreds of hours on Minecraft. And so yeah, this was definitely been something I would have played.
When you're playing this game, it's almost as if you're living a regular life within this video game. And you have to make these decisions based on how much money you have and what's going to be beneficial for you in this virtual life.
I must imagine that for you, seeing them, I assume you're as proud of them as I am.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. So proud of all of them just for thinking and taking it that serious, and they're going to get so many blessings back from this by blessing so many people and, it being such a big deal. And I appreciate Microsoft for being able to really see the vision and applying it to Minecraft. I mean, that's crazy.
I think it's going to be a game changer because I think it's going to start with the kids, but I think other people are going to observe it and they're going to want to play it too.
Yeah, for sure. And I know I'm probably going to learn something. I don't see how you couldn't. You think you may know everything, but I know enough that I do not know everything. So,
how did you decide to start doing nonprofit work?
Really, it was my family. That's how I was taught to always do it. Even when we just used to donate to the Salvation Army, and whether we were short on money, my grandma and my granddad, they always made sure to donate, and they gave what they could every time. So it's kind of instilled in me to give back.
What have you taken away? I mean, you're somebody who's seen a lot of the world. What is doing community service giving you?
It's just giving me joy. It's one of the most productive things I feel like I could do. Is to help somebody on their way or give somebody opportunity or a little extra push that they may not have been able to have on their own.
What's your favorite song that you've ever written or performed?
One Man Could Change the World is probably my favorite song I've ever written, just because of what it meant to me.
Being black, you had the extra try. Way before James Brown made us proud. She bought a crib on the same street as Marvin Gaye, right there on Outer Drive.
And I dedicated that to my grandma. She's on the end of the song.
Thank you for calling me. They're thinking about me.
And she had just died. I played it for her, and she soon after died. So it just has a special connotation for me. I don't know if that's necessarily the best lyrics or, whatever, but that's just one of my favorite ones personally. Favorite song to perform? I really like performing Blessings with me and Drake.
Drinks are the coldest, the future the brightest. The feet not divided, love is divided, and I just gotta thank God that we got blessed.
I was loving your shirt. I grew up loving Marvin Gaye. So many of his songs just play in my head randomly sometimes, or even just little phrases from him. Were you a big fan growing up?
Absolutely. Yeah. That What's Going On album.
We've got to find a way to bring some loving. Oh, yeah.
I think that was the first conceptual R&B album like that of its kind. And obviously the concept of his brother being enlisted and a soldier and coming back home, and that being the whole concept of the album, to me, I just thought was ingenious and something that was so against the grain at that time. That's one of those albums that you could just loop over and over and listen to all day.
So you can see what's going on. Tell me what's going on. Woo!
Sean, how did you get into music?
My mom just would always play Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, Isley Brothers, Motown, Aretha, and we would dance in the living room sometimes. And then on top of that, I had an older stepbrother and an older brother who was heavy into just rap, heavy into Tupac, heavy into Biggie, heavy into DMX, E40, into DJ Quick.
Oh my goodness, I haven't heard anybody say DJ Quick in a long time.
Heck yeah.
Cause this is 92, and yes, your style is through. And if your record ain't selling, what fool I thought you knew, that ain't fun.
He's a legend. People gotta give DJ Quick his flowers for sure.
Man, I just ended up on everybody's guest list. I'm just doing better than what everyone projected. I knew that I'd be here, so if you ask me how I feel, I'ma just tell you it's everything that I expected. Boy.
I'm always interested and inspired, honestly, by the unusual ways that people break through. How did it happen for you?
It wasn't just one thing. It was multiple things that led to multiple things. I mean, I was just a kid who, luckily in my neighborhood, had somebody who recorded music in their basement and somebody who cared about the community. So he would see his little cousins and me and a couple other people out in the streets. And he'd be like, man, y'all shouldn't be out in the streets. You know, we'd be playing basketball, running up and down blocks and stuff. He'd be like, man, y'all need to get into something a little more productive, because it was, you know, it was very violent at the time on the west side of Detroit.
How many of you know someone who has been shot?
One of the things I got into with his cousins was rapping and writing music at like 11 years old. So that was my start. And that was my first time like rapping in front of a mic, you know, and like writing to music. And I had a love for it. And I remember the first rap I wrote was on this yellow notepad that I rapped to my mom, and she was liking it, you know. She told me to keep going with it, and I just stuck to it. And that led to me recording CDs and selling them in school. You know, I had like a new CD every semester with like 5, 6, 7 songs on it. I would take my album covers up at Sears. You know, my mom would be paying for it. I was on that grind for real, and battle rapping after school all the time.
Round one, man. Here it is, man. Young Sean, man. When I approach the senorita shit, she's often glad to be invited to a loft the pad.
When I turned 16, I started doing this radio show every Friday called the Friday Night Cypher, where like a whole bunch of MCs would come together. We would battle rap, and then whoever will win the battle rap will get to rap on the actual radio, like over whatever instrumentals.
You like a bakery, pies and cakes, you want beef, I'ma give y'all pounds of steak. But wait, you're not listening. Understand, Sean great like one of the lakes that's in Michigan.
You know, back then it was like the special delivery beat or the freeway, what we do is wrong beat, and like just the instrumentals like that. That was songs that were popping at the time. I did that for like a year straight, you know, and then that helped me expand my fan base a little bit more. And then Kanye was at that same radio station promoting his album, Late Registration. And since I had a relationship at the station, I was able to finagle my way back in the office, you know what I'm saying, where he was doing his promo. Met him there, got a chance to rap for him as he was walking out the station, even though he told me he didn't have time, but I somehow got able to rap for him. And he asked like, yo, you got a CD? And I had the CDs that I've been selling in high school, like on me. I had like my bio ready. I was like ready. That was the initial step. But I mean, it took years after that to get my first contract. It was definitely like a 6-year process of when I met Kanye. So when I put my first album out.
I waited my whole life to be the man of the hour. I really can't lie, I was the man when I started. I'll be the man when I die. Man, I do it, I do it, I do it, I do it.
Did you ever lose hope, consider abandoning it?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was funny because my family was the one who really kept me motivated, especially my mom. Because my grandma, she came from a different era, so she was the first to go to college in the family. Like my grandma, my granddad, and to them, that was the way to a better life. But I just knew that I wanted to do music. I had like a full ride to Michigan State. You know, she was definitely a little disappointed, but all the college bonds that she saved up for me my whole life, I was spending on studio sessions, and she wasn't really feeling that. So it was a very uncomfortable situation. But my mom was the one who was just like, man, you know, you just got to stay on it.
Why do you think it finally worked?
I don't know why, it just did. It just happens, and you gotta realize that wherever you at in your life is for a reason.
Last night took an L, but tonight I bounce back, boy. I've been broke as hell, catch the check and bounce back. D-Town LAX, every week I bounce back. If you a real one, then you know how to bounce back.
And when I saw the difference I was making in other people's lives, some of the like fans that would come up to me, or it definitely was confirmation that, okay, I got a bigger purpose here, you know. When I would experience the joy of making music or putting out music, I knew that that was part of my life purpose. I wouldn't say it's all of it, but it's definitely part of it.
What do you feel like's the other part?
Honestly, to be happy, just to enjoy myself and whatever brings me joy, to do it, you know. I just feel like whenever you're moving in happiness or moving on that vibration, that you're just going to attract the right opportunities, the right days, the right plays, the right people. And I feel like the greatest things come from when you feeling good, you know, not when you're stressed out.
They like, why you feel so good? Man. I'm like, why I need a reason? Straight up. Lot of salt, lot of shade being thrown my way, man. Guess it's just a season.
But, you know, as a human being, we experience all these different emotions, and I just try and keep myself, you know, at the highest frequency I can.
What sort of things allow you to do that?
Like meditation has been a big one. Just focusing on my breath sometimes, just taking time out for myself. You know, I think A lot of people get the concept of like meditation confused. Like, you know, you're supposed to clear your mind and not think of anything. But really, to me, it's just taking a conscious time out to be with yourself and focus on your breathing, or it could be your intentions that you wrote down for the day. What it does is like, it's like the equivalent of taking a shower after you just worked out and you super sweaty, like you just feel clean. Like meditation does that for me energetically. It like cleans my energy. I even feel like I look different sometimes after I do it.
You ever thinking about writing a book?
I'm actually in talks of it right now. So time has just been going so fast, but I just gotta commit myself and take the time out. I think once I finish this offering of new music that I'm working on, that I'm gonna take some time to properly write and finish my book and, you know, go from there and just keep exploring different avenues of life.
Have you ever thought about living overseas?
Yeah, I have. Thought about living in the south of France. Like, I haven't explored Africa as much. I've been to Nigeria. I've been to South Africa, a couple parts. I've been to Lagos. I would really love to like explore over there and like see if there is a place that I could go live there sometimes too, because it's the richest land in the world. You feel me? I know that for a fact. And I trace my ancestry definitely back to, you know, I'm definitely like 60% Nigerian and other parts of Africa. So I do think that I have roots there. I mean, clearly. You know, not just because, you know, everyone that's Black doesn't necessarily have roots in Africa, but I do feel like I am one of the people who have actual roots in Africa.
The most beautiful place I've ever been to in the world is in Zimbabwe, Victoria Falls. Did you go to Victoria Falls?
No, I have been to Uganda and saw the Nile River, though. That was crazy. That's like some of the best sunsets I've ever seen, but you just gotta watch out for the hippos and the alligators. There's no like barricade or anything.
Were you nervous at all or no?
I feel like God got me, man. So no, not really. You just got to be careful, you know?
You say that now, but you'd be running faster than me if those crocodiles came out.
See, I feel like when you start running, that's when you make your first mistake. When you start running, because they want to chase something.
Hey, Sean, let me finish with what I call rapid fire. What's your favorite movie of all time?
Forrest Gump and The Matrix. It's a tie.
Your favorite athlete of all time?
Michael Jordan.
You say that as a Detroit guy. You're saying Michael Jordan. You're saying it out loud.
Now, you didn't ask my favorite team. My favorite team is the Bad Boys.
Yeah, but you said Michael Jordan, and you're from Detroit.
Michael Jordan was he was bigger than life, man.
If you could have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be?
Biggie. I love Biggie, man.
Oh, that's a good answer.
You know, now I can name 10 people. Like Aretha, I would love to have dinner with Marvin Gaye. I would love to have dinner with Bob Marley. I would love to have dinner with Gandhi. I would love to have dinner with Jesus Christ.
You turned it from a dinner to a brunch, and you invited a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean, what a pleasure. I've loved meeting you. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, you too, man. Great interview. And I'll see you soon, man.
Yeah, be safe, be well.
All right, you too.
This guy completely surprised me. Because I thought he was just a little rapper and, you know, somebody to know how to get you to bounce and things like that. But it's like, no, this is how they got a lot of depth. Right. It's like you can look at him and look in him. He was so thoughtful and he felt so connected to himself in a way that was just so enjoyable. I could have listened to him for the rest of the day. He was just a breath of fresh air.
I mean, I completely agree with Monica. He was not what I was expecting at all. But I loved it. I loved how he's so focused on loving himself and the meditation and the, you know, how we all came out of Africa together. There's just something very, just like sort of loving, I guess. Like he talked a lot about love, and I thought that was really great. Wow. I mean, that was great.
The other thing that was really cool was the fact that Kanye said I don't have time. He was like, no, let me play, you know, that's a major courage. Because I could have easily seen most people like, oh, okay, I tried, you know what I mean? And I think that is probably why he is where he's at. And even then, it still took he said, a few more years.
What a lucky draw it was that he had the mom he had.
Yeah.
Because it was a grind and uncertain and hard. And the fact that his mom was the one in his ear saying, go for it, good for you, keep going, don't give up.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Hey, I really hope you enjoyed Big Sean. What a thoughtful, interesting person. God bless his mother and his grandmother and grandfather. And I'm kind of excited to see where his life and career takes him. I feel like he's such a grounded, interesting, and interested person. I think he's going to continue to do good things in the world, in addition, of course, to his good music. All right, my thanks to Big Sean and, in fact, everyone at Allied for the good work that they are doing. If you're enjoying this show, remember, there's always more. Hit the like and subscribe button. Come on back and see us again. Thank you for watching. Be safe. Be well.